Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Hummel, the Tier 6 German SPG. This one's located on the eastbourne of Malinovka and is under the command of Deathnub. And he became a member of What Arty Noobs recently, and he sent in his first replay. Now that is the top gun from the Hummel. I know that because it's the long one. The short one, the stock gun, is actually the same gun, which is the top gun from the Gorilla. And it's actually got a better trajectory than this gun because the top gun's got a very flat trajectory. However, it does do more damage because the stock gun will only do 480. The top gun does 600. The top gun can shoot over the entire range of the map. The stock gun cannot, but I suppose the one thing that really does make a difference with the stock gun is it's got a faster reload, which means it's not only more accurate, but you can get more shells out in the game, but you have to get them out closer to the enemy. Well, Deathnub's finding some tree to hide behind. Oh, he's found a bush. Okay, this is good. Okay, normally in a battle like this, I'll aim for the bush, the spotting bush. Looks like there's an AMX-12 already gone there. Okay, he's going to go for the Jagdpanzer 4, who's just behind a wreck over on the enemy side of the battlefield, but instead he's actually aiming for a I think it was a Jagdpanther behind him. Okay, first round's out. Standard reload is 29.32 seconds for this Arty. 25.13 is what Deathnub's managed to get. So he's obviously using premium consumables and a rammer, which will help his reload time. For the KD85, making the north end of the lake. Rather unusual to see a heavy tank go to this position. He's going to take a lot of damage. Tracking shot, rounds out. Not enough lead on that one. It's difficult to actually take a lead because the problem is that this Arty will only go 15 degrees either side of the centre line, so it's only got a 30-degree arc overall. And when you're trying to re-aim at the vehicle, if the vehicle's moving fast enough, the vehicle has to adjust, and every time it adjusts, the reticule blooms. But the Tiger 1's just been tracked, and that's a direct hit for 224. It's tracked him again, and he's stunned. So if our teammates get some damage into him, Deathnub's going to get some stun assist. Unfortunately, I didn't see anything. Now you can see that Deathnub has actually decided to go with mostly HE rounds with stun, but he has got 3 armor piercing rounds as well, just in case. They're heat rounds. MX 12 tons moved up. He's at the rock in the center next to the lake, which is going to be very difficult to hit with this particular gun, but he's dialed in, rounds out, and oh, he gets him! In fact, he got him with splash, because the AMX 12 ton moved away from the aim point, but the shell exploded exactly where he aimed, and the AMX 12 ton got caught up in the splash of that one. You only get 18 rounds in the Hummel, so you have to make the best use of them that you can. And I suspect that one of the enemy tanks is still behind that bush. No, he wasn't. He moved forward, but the VK-3002D... Oh, look at that. Both Artys fired at the same spot at the same time. Our teammate in the other Arty is in the SU-8, which is also a fairly accurate Arty, with a 152mm gun, whilst the Hummel has a 15cm. Going for the T-3485. Oh, the SU-8 just got a direct hit. Now the VK-3002D was Daimler's version of the Panther variant, but the 3002D actually can have the 88mm gun. He did get a direct hit, and he did pick up 121 hit points. Now he's got 273 from the stun assist. Come on, get another one on. Oh, T-29, that makes a lovely target. Now he fired just as he turned, but I think he did get a direct hit on that VK because there was no explosion to the shell. Now the T-29's bound to get fired at by our teammates, so if he can stun him, then he might get some stun assist off this one. We do have some teammates nearby, but I'm not sure if they can actually see the T29 to get a shot at him at the moment. He's just over the ridgeline, I think. They know he's there because they can see him visually that he's there, but they're not shooting. He just fired his first heat round and it missed. You have to get a direct hit in order to get damage with the heat. So the heat rounds are capable of 400 alpha, but they'll penetrate 188mm of armor. Most players aren't bothering with the heat rounds now because, or armor piercing for that matter, simply because they've tried it out and most shells tend to miss the target. Rounds out. Again, another hole in the ground. Heat rounds aren't as expensive, or armor piercing isn't quite as expensive as it used to be in the past. But in the past, if you used a heat round or an armor piercing round more likely, you would actually get spectacular results because you could actually one-shot a heavy tank with an armor piercing round from a T92 HMC. Ready? Now. Much better, and that one definitely hit. But all he got was a critical hit, and now he's out of heat rounds altogether. And I think that's one of the reasons why you just don't use armor piercing or heat, because most of the time you're not going to get any damage off them at all. You're much better off with the standard HE, because at least then you get stun assist. Rounds out in that corner, and he hit him! He hit the T29, direct hit because there was no explosion. Okay, on the dip next to the spotting here we've got a Cromwell. Now the trick with this one is to actually aim slightly into the dip, and then when the Cromwell breaks the rise, you'll see it go red, and at that point you can fire and hit them. He's not going to aim there again. Oh no, he's gone back to the spot. So a lot of people will try and aim for the top of the dip, but if they over aim, it'll go into the dip. If they under aim, it'll hit the rise. But if you aim just slightly into the dip, or actually into the dip properly, then you will get a direct hit. That's it. He's doing it now. You see, notice how it changes red. Well, he's actually slightly over. Needs to aim a little further in. And when the Cromwell breaks the dip, that's when he's got him. He's firing into the tree. No, he wasn't up there. He was hoping that he'd actually moved into the spotting bush. Oh, now the T29's moved further south. We've lost sight of him because he got killed. He got wiped out. Oh, wow, that was spectacular. VK2801 just got wiped out. That was the 105 one. The new tank that they've given out. Taken out by the other, one of our players. It says here, oh, it was the M44 on the enemy team actually took one of our teammates out. I thought for a second we had an M44 on our team. No, it's the opposite way around. Our KV2 just got the Striv 74, but the Cromwell on the enemy team took out our Tiger P. The scores are still even. It can still go either way. Okay, there's the Tiger one that he fired at earlier in the game, the one that went up the hill. Ah, now he pulled away after he fired there, so we don't know if he hit the target. It's never wise to pull away after you shot, because you might actually hit the target with a blind shot, and the only way you'll actually see that is if you see whether there's an explosion or not. But if you've pulled away, you won't see it at all. You won't know that you've hit the target. Okay, the Tiger was still there. Again, we don't know if we got any damage on him, but he has lost some hit points, so maybe he did. But don't pull away from the target after you shoot, because you want to see what happens to the shell. Yeah, you see, he got a hit there. A direct hit. He stunned the target. He's lost... The target's lost hit points. And there's the kill. The kill came in from the KV2. Okay, enemy Cromwell's moved up quite dramatically. It's now gone into the lake, the other side. He's in the dip, but he's a very good target. Rounds out. Yes! 252. Thin sides of the Cromwell. Let that shot in. And now he's a Crom not so well. And that's a terrible joke, isn't it? Okay, 2 targets we can fire at. The Jagdpanther and the M44. Now, he fired at the Jagdpanther earlier in the game. And he's trying to work out where the Jagdpanther's gone. He might be after that T-52. Just took out the enemy M44. There he is. It's been spotted. Okay. He's lining up for a shot. Track him. Rounds out. Good shot. Yes! I said it was a good shot. It was actually, because even though the Jagdpanther moved outside the aim point, he still got the splash enough to take him out. And now we've got a lovely target. That's a Sturm Mill. And they are tier 7 German tank destroyer. I think that's the stock gun, which is the 105mm gun. Makes this a bit like the Dickomax. And that's a kill. They got very thin armor, Sturm Mills, so they make very good targets for Arty. So he's got another kill. He's now up to 3. He could platoon with the Firefly 5C. He's now got 1,128 hit points of damage and 678 stun assist. So he is having a good battle. And that stun assist level and damage level, it's going to be much higher because... Here we go. Could get the V-kit. Oh, just a second too late. Well, his scores are going to be much higher because some of those were blind hits on the enemy. Looking now for the enemy Hummel. Now, he's either going to be in the forests at the back of the map or he's going to be up the hill. I don't think he'll be up the hill. I think it's much more likely that he's going to be at the on the A row. Oh, he's foxed me. He's actually in the 0 row. Very close. And there's the kill shot from the T-52. That's the end of the game. Well, this is great news for Deathnub because this is his first ace tanker in the Hummel. Yes, he's finally broken his duck and now he has an ace. He's got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this one. He managed to get 6, but he didn't get any other medals. I think that might be because the rest of his team were much better at it. No, they weren't actually. But when it came to damage, he actually came 3rd on his team. The highest damage in the game actually went to the SU-8, who obviously a very, very good player. 2,328 hit points of damage. It's quite a lot for an SU-8. Second highest damage was the SU-152 with 1,953. And the 3rd highest damage in the game went to Deathnub with 1,941. When it came to kills, it was actually shared between Deathnub and the Sherman Firefly 5C, who got 3 kills apiece, but also the M44 in the enemy team got 3, so he was not bad either. When it came to base XP, yes, it's Deathnub. He managed to get the high spot because he actually hit more higher tier opponents than the others, and that's why he was collecting more XP. Plus, of course, you saw the shots that he made on the Tiger 1 and the Sturm Mill. Both of those are tier 7, so obviously as a tier 6 Arty, he was gaining more XP every time he hit one of those guys. So he got 1,014 base XP, 952 went to the T-52, and 828 went to the SU-152. He was the only player to get over 1,000 base. 18 shots fired, he fired all of his ammo in that game. 8 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetration. I suspect the penetration was probably the Sturm Mill, but I'm afraid on what replays we can't find out if it was. 9 splash as well. 1,941 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3. So because he killed so many, actually, that's why he didn't get a Confederate or anything like that. But it was a very good score, and those kills were very good kills as well. 240 hit points of damage assistance, plus 678 hit points of stun assist of 7 stuns. He earned 34,516 credits from the game, 21,745 from personal missions payout, and after repair and ammunition, resupply and consumables, well, there was no repair actually, because of course he never got hit, but he did have consumables, premium consumables. He actually took away a profit of 35,489 credits. He got 1014 XP, 3042 from personal missions payout, and took away 4563 experience points altogether. Once you've had your first ace in the Hummel, it's not going to be long before you get your next one. Once you've actually learned how to do it, they just follow one after the other, because you just maximize your output each game, and sooner or later it all comes to you. In this game, he did get some nice hits. That Sturry Mill one was that was a real wallop. The Yag Panther, it was a splash kill. The AMX 12-ton as well. But yes, he was getting good damage on the enemy, and that's why he comes away with a nice ace tanker at the end. So congratulations to Deathnub. First ace tanker won't be your last. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.